If you want to radically increase a ball player's explosive leg power and rotational core power to improve hitting power, throwing velocity, and give you the speed to successfully steal more bases and catch more of those hard-driven balls, VertiMax is the key to make that happen. Male or female at any level, from youth to professional ball players, if you want to quickly develop a more competitive athlete on the field, there's no better choice than VertiMax to separate your players from the competition and dominate games. VertiMax is now used by the majority of professional league sports teams in all sports to develop more competitive athletes, and these teams in baseball include the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, the Minnesota Twins, the San Diego Padres, and 14 of the top 25 ranked men's Division I college baseball programs. Today, thousands of youth baseball and softball players across the country are using VertiMax for one simple purpose, and that's to transform into the fastest, most explosive players possible with the best hitting power. VertiMax uses an exciting new training technology to better develop explosive jumping power by routing really long resistance bands on pulley systems that allow each band to fully retract into the training platform. Once the athlete sets the desired training resistance by releasing and extracting any of the 8 bands from the system, which automatically lock in place after adjustment, VertiMax will do some really important things that more effectively develop explosive power and speed for any athlete. First, VertiMax's retractable pulley system will never allow elastic training bands to go slack when jump training or performing any other explosive training movement for that matter. In this animation, you can see no matter how low the athlete squats, the VertiMax band retraction system always keeps the bands tight, applying a useful training load, especially when the athlete initiates the upward jumping movement when it's most important to apply resistance for power development. Second, if you look at the meter in the upper left, notice how the resistance barely changes throughout the whole jumping movement. The 30-foot-long resistance bands routed in the pulley systems allows VertiMax to apply a non-varying load and keeps the resistance from increasing radically as the athlete progresses through the training movement, so athletes can continue to accelerate through each explosive repetition and achieve higher training velocities, and that's going to better develop speed strength. In contrast, conventional elastic training systems almost always tie short elastic bands to the ground, walls, or between legs. And as shown in this example for jump training, you can see without a retraction system, the bands go slack when the athlete squats, and there's little or no resistance when you need it most at the start of the explosive training movement. Also, as you look at the resistance meter, as those short 2-foot bands start to stretch, the resistance is going to radically increase, going from near zero in the squatted position to a whole lot before liftoff. And that's not only going to hinder acceleration in the explosive rep, it's also going to completely destabilize the athlete because gravity doesn't radically increase when we jump. If you're trying to fully develop your explosive power to improve throwing velocity, speed, and hitting power, training like that, you're going to come up short on game-winning plays more often than you want. VertiMax's advanced design corrects those problems to help any ball player develop their full power potential by providing a revolutionary training system to better develop power. And it's going to give your players more power and speed in every aspect of the game and elevate offensive and defensive play to win more games. When it comes to making defensive plays in the infield or outfield, every inch of vertical leaping ability counts when you're attempting to catch a hard-driven ball over your head. Arm swing velocity accounts for 10 to 13% of vertical jump performance of any athlete. And VertiMax is the only training system in the world that accounts for that by loading the arms while jump training to improve arm swing velocity to further improve vertical jump performance. These two benefits will condition ball players to develop more power sooner in any explosive movement, to radically increase acceleration for more throwing velocity, greater bat speeds and hitting power, along with improved defensive speed to make more plays. If you want more team speed and first step quickness to steal bases more successfully, allow your infielders to make more plays on hard-driven balls, and allow your outfielders to chase down more fly balls, VertiMax can train muscles essential for acceleration and speed in ways you can never dream of in a conventional weight room. With VertiMax's unique ability to morph into hundreds of sport-specific training configurations, coaches can now customize baseball and softball training drills to levels never seen before for athletes of any age and achieve quantum leaps in athletic potential development on both offense and defense. With VertiMax, athletes can leave the platform and connect individual resistance bands to the waist and feet, The resistance applied to the waist will load the athlete's legs when they're planted on the ground driving, working the quads, glutes, and calves to improve drive phase acceleration power. Now, the resistance applied to the feet is going to load the hip flexors, abductors, and adductors when the feet break contact with the ground to develop more power in the swing phase, accelerating the airborne foot through the air for a quicker next step. This unique ability to provide simultaneous drive and swing phase power development for linear, lateral, diagonal, and back pedal acceleration can't be duplicated by any other training system in the world. Even though VertiMax is the most versatile athletic training system available, you don't have to get fancy with it to turn average ball players into great players. One simple exercise, the quarter quick jump, 2 to 3 times a week, will make a radical improvement in your team's speed and throwing velocity. And with a single system, you can train up to 30 athletes in under an hour. VertiMax has been so successful delivering athletic performance gains to the world's greatest athletes. We now have over half the major professional sports and college teams in the US using VertiMax. However, it's important to note that the #1 purchaser of VertiMax is a family with an athlete averaging 12 years of age. And that's why parents donated over 750 of the 1,408 VertiMax units acquired by high schools and middle schools last year. Parents are simply more willing to donate VertiMax into athletic programs because they can quickly see they're not spending more money on the same equipment you already have, like weight plates and squat racks, or investing in weight room beautification efforts that won't put a better athlete in competition. Once any supporter of your athletic program understands what VertiMax can do, they know they're investing in the world's leading athletic training system, and it's going to help their child and their child's team be much more competitive in just a few weeks. And that fact alone makes all the difference in the world if you need funding assistance for your program to take advantage of VertiMax. The Get VertiMax donated link at the very top of this page allows you to quickly receive an email designed to simply forward to any supporters of your sports program. The email explains you're looking for financial help to acquire VertiMax and has all the introductory VertiMax video links by sport built right into it, providing a very simple way to get supporters informed and excited about VertiMax. One last thought I'd like to leave you with is to consider one of the biggest misconceptions in sports training, and that is, if an athlete is strong, they're going to be quick and explosive. That simply is not true. Strength is essential in athletics, but you can find really strong athletes that are really slow, a dime a dozen from one end of the globe to the other. An athlete becomes explosive and quick when they can generate force quickly, which is power. And though strength is related to power, good strength measured at low velocities only guarantees you can generate a lot of force, but not necessarily quickly. And it doesn't matter if you're the strongest male or female athlete in the world. If you can't generate all that force associated with your great strength quickly, you're not going to be explosive and you're not going to be quick. Efficiently converting athletic strength gains to improved rate of force production or power production in competition is one of the most difficult things in sports performance training for any coach to do. VertiMax was designed to correct that problem by providing the most effective means to convert the strength of any athlete into as much jumping power and speed in competition as possible. And that's going to give you a team of more physically dominant athletes to coach and compete with. As the president of the VertiMax company, I would like to thank you for your time, and I personally look forward to helping you evaluate this opportunity for your team's or child's benefit.